Thanks for joining us here on Conversations on North Metro TV. And today we're going to talk about recycling, fact and fiction, and a lot of stuff in between. And joining us here in the studio is Abby Moroz from Walters Recycling in Blaine. And Abby, first of all, thanks for stopping by, because this is such a broad topic, but I know a lot of people want to get educated, don't they?
Yes, for sure. Education is the biggest thing for learning more about recycling and organics.
Yeah, and I think recycling has really, since the starting days to now, it's really grown, and there's a lot of facets to it. So let's start with organics, food waste, and compostables.
Yeah, so food scraps mixed with recyclables to trash, like methane, odors, and contamination, it really contaminates what the recyclables are. And so really separating the organics to recyclables is incredible. And right now, organic sorting with AI and robotics is becoming huge, because you can use the trash food scrap bags and just throw that in the trash, and the AI robotics will automatically take that out, which will then lead to one less can at the end of your driveway, which
Wow.
is, yeah.
So AI has taken over just about every industry, including recycling.
Yes, yeah.
And I know in your notes that you gave me, compost is not magic, it's technology plus education plus infrastructure. Break that down.
Yeah, so technology, obviously the AI, with the specific food scrap bags that you would put your organics and compost in, you just throw that in the trash, and then the AI robots will then specifically pick out that bag and separate that.
Does that take the pressure off somebody trying to figure out what goes where?
I would say not necessarily, because we always like to say that when in doubt, toss it out. And so that means if you are in doubt of what to put in the trash, recycling or organics, just put it in the trash. But I mean, organics is compost, like food scraps, coffee grounds, that kind of stuff. And that would be in the food scrap bags. And then recycling would be the number 1, 2, and 5 recyclables, with aluminum cans, water bottles, and then trash would be everything else.
That's something I learned when I was at Walters a few weeks ago. When in doubt, toss
Toss
it
it
out.
out, yes.
So is that something you want to make sure the viewers take away, that if there's any mystery, you're better off throwing it away than saying, oh, I think it goes in this recycle bin?
Yes, yeah. For an example, pizza boxes are a huge thing. And if you have extra cheese on the bottom, or sometimes you get a very greasy pizza, the sogginess distorts the sorting of the recycling. And so that is a instance of when in doubt, toss it out, because it is not recyclable at that point.
Your blue bin is not just a bin, right? I mean, it's the front end of high-speed sorting. So you see the bin, and that's the beginning of the process, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, correct. Yeah, the recycling bin is the first instance. And so, again, education is huge on what is recyclable, what is organics, what is trash. Recyclables do get confusing, as like if a crushed can or a crushed plastic bottle, those end up not being actual recyclables, because when it's going through the sorting process, going through the conveyor belt with the technology, it doesn't go actually into the proper sorting.
So my kids told me, yes, you crush your water bottles so you have more space. But so that's inaccurate, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, because the technology, it reads, I wouldn't say read, but it scans a water bottle or an aluminum can as its actual form. And if it's crushed, then it won't detect it properly and won't be sorted to the correct bin.
And where do these cans and water bottles, and a lot of people really try to do their due diligence when it comes to recycling, but after you drop it off in whatever bin you're putting it in, where does it go?
It does go to a recycling center, and for example, aluminum cans, those are constant, and plastic water bottles, or plastic in general, they get reused. And so they go to a certain facility that then crushes them down and get reused and repurposed.
So I shouldn't feel bad if I drink an Aquafina water because I know it's going to get reused if I recycle it the right way.
Yes,
Is
if you
that accurate?
recycle it
Okay.
properly.
Okay. Same
But
with
a
cans.
reusable water bottle would be.
And that's what you recommend, right? The
Yes,
reusable
yeah.
water bottle. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know, cost of recycling. Obviously, in the long run, at least I've been told, it helps the earth. It helps a lot of things. But there is an upfront cost, isn't there?
The upfront cost is real, but the return with the energy and the reduced raw materials is substantial, especially with when the contamination is minimized because of sorting out the organics with the trash and the recycling. The contamination makes a huge due diligence with that.
How clean does that can need to be, or something that you're putting in the recycle bin? Do you have to get it thoroughly clean, like it went through the dishwasher? Break that down.
I would say, example, if you open up a can of tomatoes, diced tomatoes, just do a quick rinse and that is good to go
And then you put the can in
in the recycling bin.
okay.
And yeah.
Yeah. All right. Arrows. We see those arrows on the blue bins, and that to me indicates, hey, it's recycling, and this is where you may want to put this. What do the arrows really mean?
The arrows are just, it describes what type of plastic that it is. So the specific plastics that are able to be recycled are 1, 2, and 5.
Fact from fiction, myth from misbelief. Now we touched on, rinsing out your tomato can or something like that. So you don't have to really overdo it, do you? Just get it clean.
Yes, yeah. I mean, obviously, a little bit of residue from food scraps is fine in recycling, but obviously, if you can make it as clean as possible, putting it in the recycling bin, that would be essential.
The recycling cynics will say, well, it really doesn't matter where I put it. It all goes into the same spot anyway, and it's mixed up. Is that fact or fiction?
That is definitely fiction.
Yeah. And so why do recycling facilities want things separated in the right places?
Just because it's more efficient, and then also the contamination. Obviously, landfills have been getting overpopulated in a sense, and recycling and compost are just more efficient for the earth to get greener and better.
And the cynics again will say, well, recycling's too expensive to worry about or to justify. That's not true, is it?
No, not at all. Trash is actually more expensive than the recycling and compost.
Can any of these things that we're recycling be reused as, alternate forms of energy?
Yes, yeah. It is a return on energy with reduced raw materials like carbon, and like landfill costs, again, are extremely expensive.
Another thing people sometimes say is, well, one mistake in my recycling bin, that really doesn't matter. It's just one thing that doesn't belong there. But it does add up, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, especially in one single load in one of our recycling bins can contaminate the entire load, and then that hurts the machinery. It jams the sorters, and also just like the quality drops in all of the recycling.
So when that happens, does it actually just defeat the whole purpose?
Yes, yeah.
So then if you have all the things that are recyclable, but that one thing that isn't, does it all just go, well, where does it go from there? Is it just to slow things down?
Yes. Oh, 100%. It slows down, like I said, the quality, and then also just our production as well.
Let's go back to when in doubt, toss it out. You're not encouraging people to not recycle, but you want to make sure that they have any questions or they're not sure, just throw it away, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Again, going back to the contamination within the recycling, when in doubt, toss it out, not putting a chance on contaminating the load.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about recycling that you hear in dealing with people at Walters?
That trash is just trash. It ends up in the same place, which is completely not true. Recycling is like cooking. The wrong ingredient spoils the entire dish. So really, if we can't measure it, we can't improve it. And so really educating everyone in the community about properly trash to recycling to organics, and especially now starting with the food scrap.
Where do you think the average person is on recycling knowledge? I mean, how much work do we have to do to educate them?
It's constant education because with new products being invented every single day, learning what is properly needed to be recycled, which is one of Walter's biggest endeavors, is trying to educate the community, going out into the community to schools, at our community involvement, trying to talk to everyone, friends, family, letting everyone know exactly.
And when you're out talking to people, do you feel like you have their ear, that they're engaged and they want to get this right?
Yes, yeah. A lot of people are very intrigued and wanting to know more because we just want to make the earth greener. So,
And I know, like here at North Metro TV, we have trash and recycling bins. And is that something you would recommend for any company? Have the separate bins so employees know where to put it.
oh, 100%, yeah. Because then it's also then educating all of the employees as well as they can take that home and educate the people around them.
In recycling, I know there's a phrase called "think empty, dry, and loose." Can you explain that?
That means no plastic bags, no foods or liquids, and then no like cords or hoses. Stick to, like I said, pizza box, for example, clean paper, cardboard, metal cans, and plastics don't crush, glass bottles, and specifically plastics 1, 2, and 5. Those are the real recyclables that stay around us and are actually turned into new products.
So if the pizza box or some other item has food residue on it, do you recommend just throwing it away?
Yeah, when in doubt, toss it out.
What about organics, keeping food waste separate and clean? Get into that.
Yeah, so compostable materials, so fruit peels, coffee grounds, paper towels, and certified compostable products, that all goes in your organics cart. But again, no plastic, glass, or metal. That is huge because it can't be sorted, and then that's a contamination within the organics bin. A little effort here keeps contamination low and creates nutrient-rich compost for our Minnesotan soil.
Is there anything else you want to add, Abby, that we haven't touched on?
I'm excited to have an educational talk and expand the recycling and organics education out to the community and hope everyone will start reduce, reusing, and recycling.
Can people get info from your website, or is there a spot you would guide them to, people who want to know more?
Oh, yes. On our website, we have something called a waste wizard, and that is something you can type in absolutely any item that you are wanting to throw out, and it'll tell you if it is compostable, recyclable, or in the trash.
Okay, great. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been an education. She's Abby Moroz from Walter's Refuse and Recycling. This is another edition of Conversations here on North Metro TV.